What is up, everybody? Welcome to the All Elite Wrap-Up, brought to you in part by the Turnbuckle Tavern. I'm, as always, good old Mike Belcaster with the Dream Team back together, reunited, and it feels so good.
In a minute.
Get your ass in there.
It is me, the OG Fit Kid, Tom. What's up, guys?
And live from the No Cell Studios, it's the ace of the tavern, Stephen Acefield, back by popular demand. We got the trio, the OG group, man. It's been like 6 or 7 weeks since we've had the three of us in one room talking about Dynamite.
That long? Wow.
I think so, yeah.
It feels longer.
It feels longer.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Here we are again, and better, you know what? Death Triangle, watch out. We're coming for you.
Yes,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this was a great episode. Thought it was hot. Thought it was fun.
We're telling stories, man. There's been a lot of stories being unfolded, and some of the stories are outside of the ring. So you guys want to get right into the news and talk everything that's going on backstage right now?
Let's get right into the major story.
Let's fucking
All right.
go.
What drop do you guys want to use for that? Let's use the
What
good
do you
old
guys
fashioned.
want to talk about?
This feels so good to see Cody again.
It's honestly, that is the news drop. I don't care where Cody is, and Tom might believe that he's actually coming back, but here we go. We got more drama in AEW, and it never quite ends. AEW, Sammy Guevara, and Andrade El Idolo have been going back and forth on social media. They were engaging in a war on Twitter. They got into an altercation before Dynamite. So we have the two of these guys going back and forth. Allegedly, Andrade threw a punch at Sammy. For some reason, Sammy was allowed to stay, I guess, because he's involved in the major angle. So what do you guys think about this? Honestly, there's a huge piece of me that's like, who didn't stop them from being next to each other? You knew this was coming. The most predictable outcome ever.
If you listen real carefully, you could hear Andrade.
You fucking mark!
Wrong one.
It works. It was good enough.
I screwed up. I'm sorry.
I'll still pop for it.
You fucking mark! Fire me! Fire me!
I like the first one better.
Well, it seems like he is going to get fired. And guys, we have the tweets here to unpack. These are even before the altercation. You probably saw them going around. We saw a very vague subtweet by Sammy Guevara. You are a jobber, a favor hire. Be grateful, bitch. Andrade went back at him. So you guys, I'm not going to read you all the tweets, but they really went at it on Twitter. And Andrade left it at, I'll tell you to your face again and nothing to say you don't have any problem. See you on Wednesday. How did no one get between the two of these guys? I do not understand how you guys let them be alone. You knew this was going to go down.
You guess we could prove that Andrade is the real man here. He said, "I'll see you Wednesday." He stuck to his words, and
I don't know. He wasn't there.
Let's let him look like shit since it's in AEW. I bet he's just drooling to go back to WWE. And they didn't announce it tonight, but he was originally set for a loser leave. You know, if he lost on Friday night, he was done in AEW. They didn't announce that match tonight for Rampage. I don't think when I was watching it, I didn't notice them say it. So.
No, it's confirmed that it's gone. Tony tweeted that it's not happening. Instead, the Dark Order is getting a shot at the Trios title. So Andrade seems like he's gone. Like
he's gone. He doesn't even have to lose the match. You think they would have followed through just to put out the Dark Order? But
yeah,
how soon does he pick up with Charlotte back in WWE?
I don't think he can. I mean, he's under contract. There's a no compete thing going on, so he's gonna have to sit on the bench for a while.
But if he was
a long while.
But if he was going to be in a match on Friday, lose or leave AEW match, is his contract up? We don't even know his contract was going to expire.
I don't think that they're going to buy out Andrade's contract just to get him off TV.
His contract up? We don't know how long his contract was for.
Make him sit. Who cares? Who gives a shit? Fuck Andrade. Like he hasn't done shit since he's gotten there.
Oh, he's been a
nothing.
Cover.
And he's had more backstage segments than I think he's had matches. And like, who cares? Like, Sammy obviously is white hot right now, and he's got the best go away heat possible. And why wouldn't you want him around? I don't understand it.
Apparently, Andrade's contract was a 3-year contract, and he's a year and a half in, so he's got to
sucks for him.
Sit on the bench for a bit. So, and I saw a lot of people siding with Andrade, and like you said, Tom, I mean, Andrade was a man of his word, but there's a lot to be said about he's continually bitching. He finally came out and said in that interview, it was in Spanish, so eventually it was translated. but he talked about not being booked correctly. I understand his gripe. We all talk about how talented he is, but at the end of the day, like Sammy's a day one AEW lifer. Of course, he's going to be sided with. And it seems like, I mean, Sammy has had more backstage brawls in a shoot than Andrade's had matches in the last 6 months. So what are we talking about?
Listen, Andrade, like nobody's going to miss him there. You know, he was never used, right? Whatever. See ya. See you whenever. I wonder if Tony Khan just doesn't care and lets him go so he doesn't have to pay him for a year and a half.
I think he would rather pay him and keep him off the market.
Is he really that much of a addition if he did go to WWE?
I don't. Do you think WWE would hire him again?
Yes.
He was a problem there too.
Triple H was used him best in NXT.
Yeah, but if you're a shitty person, like nobody's gonna want to work with you.
I mean, Del Rio got how many chances? So like Andrade will get his chance, and I see him going back to WWE when it's all said and done. But is WWE's desperate for a guy that looks like him? They fucked it up the first time.
Yeah,
and they didn't book him correctly because Vince was in charge. I think Triple H sees, like Tom, you mentioned, NXT. Andrade being booked in NXT was perfect.
Yes.
So I think we're forgetting that a little bit, but he's been
Andrade
not going to miss him.
Andrade came into AEW, he had that aura about him, and then it just fizzled so fast. First he was with Vicky, then Chavo, and it was just like he never found his footing.
Also, I mean, how many people is WWE going to rehire? What is Andrade going to do for WWE?
Hey, listen, I would not mind seeing him repaired with Zelina Vega. They had a nice little, it worked if it would have been used, if it would have been done right.
I don't know. There's too many variables that make it so not important. Like Roosh is way better, carries himself better. He had the QR code on his back, as Ace said earlier, which I popped fucking so hard for.
Someone got it. I was like, oh, was it too obscure of a joke?
It was great.
Hysterical. But let's be honest, like we see Roosh is signed to a contract this week. What is that guy thinking? Because he's just going to become what Andrade was, I feel. I don't feel like he's going to get pushed to the moon because of the way he's been used so far.
Yeah.
I mean, but his presentation's been better, and I think if he accepts he is the guy that's going to be booked in a certain spot, and I think if Roosh accepts what his limitation is, and I think Andrade came with a different perception, because as we mentioned, he came in as he could have been world champion. I think we all thought he was going to be a world champion, and now it's sort of laughable with how he was presented. But yeah, I mean, he was going to be a game changer. People were really excited to have him here, and it's just point in case of Tony Khan missing the boat on somebody, and now it's too late. Who cares? He's leaving.
Yeah. I don't think anybody cares that he's leaving. And even if he does go back to WWE, nobody's going to care if he shows up there.
I think they'll care. I mean, I think because Triple H, again, presentation-wise, I think the guys in NXT, you give him a second lease on life, man. Triple H has an idea for these guys, and we saw how Andrade was booked as their world champion in NXT. Yeah. Wouldn't shock me to see him go back and do big things in SmackDown. They're looking for a guy that can carry that brand of Spanish-speaking audience, has to resonate with someone, and I think Andrade could speak to them. And of course, with Ric Flair lineage and also the Charlotte Flair.
Yeah,
Hey,
listen, the big story out of this means Charlotte will probably never jump ship.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Andrade's going to make a great Impact champion when this time comes, and that's about all we're going to get out of it. I don't think.
I think we might be referencing that one day.
I'm just saying. I don't think he was a problem in WWE. Even when, like, I get Vince was in charge, but he was doing the same shit.
I don't remember him being a problem.
He was tweeting, trying to get out of his contract so he could go to AEW.
Oh, that's true.
Talking mad shit, and then. Yeah, fuck him.
He was just not used properly, on the main roster. So if he's used properly with Triple H here, it could be a totally different story.
Yeah, it could be. But I mean, so could Killer Cross.
Listen, we're not Andrade's ability in the ring. We know the guy could go. We know the guy could put on 5-star matches.
Yeah, I just don't want to go see him work Dominic Mysterio. Like I don't
want to see Dominic Mysterio work. So
Andrade and Cody again? Like, come on! Like, what are we really barking for here?
Andrade was always put in a situation, tag team match. He took the loss. He always took the losses.
Yeah.
It is not a loss to AEW at all.
Then he gets into a backstage altercation tonight, and he takes the loss. He gets kicked out. It's okay. Like, go home.
So out with the old and in with the new, we get Bandito and AEW agreeing on terms. Ooh. And an update this morning from Fightful Select noted that Bandito has now agreed to the contract that was offered by AEW. We saw Bandito was booked for his AEW debut on short notice. He actually struggled to get his gear in time for the match. A chain of events unfolded that led Bandito piecing together the gear he wore in the match with Jericho, which explains why it was a little mismatched. Several people in AEW have spoken highly of Bandito's demeanor and his attitude in the situation, from not being able to get his gear to being booked to lose his debut. Bandito reportedly had interest from multiple companies. As we heard, WWE was interested in him. So we talk about two polar opposites of how they deal with situations.
Yeah.
Andrade and Bandito just happy to be there. That big hug from Tony Khan after the match. Man.
I wasn't here last week to talk about it, but damn, I was so impressed by Bandito. What a show he put on.
Yeah, no,
awesome. I'm excited to see him here. Hopefully, he gets used right and he doesn't get used like Andrade.
Bandito is
like that match.
Bandito's a fucking top tier talent, man.
That match,
he's not old. He's a pretty young guy, right?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah, he's not even 30 yet, so he's
not even. Wow, so this guy's best years ahead of him yet.
Yeah, we've seen him. We've seen a lot of his great work in Ring of Honor and
PWG.
PWG, the rebooted Ring of Honor. The two shows we've had, he's been fucking phenomenal. GCW, he's been all over the place. He's a great talent, and that is a fucking A+ signing. That's take that.
Great signing. I love that match last week, and I loved his matches at Ring of Honor too. The two shows, so
yeah, that was good shit.
I'd love to see it. That's going to benefit AEW.
I'm here.
I'll take that trade all day. Andrade for Bandito. I'll take that trade all day.
Yep.
Straight up.
Easy. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So we also had some MJF and Tony Khan in the news, and there was an article released this morning by Variety. The AEW president was asked about his relationship with the 26-year-old wrestler Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Tony Khan said it's very professional. He's been part of AEW from day one, and he's one of the most important stars on our TV show. Whether you love MJF or love to hate MJF, I think he's one of the wrestlers who connected with the audience in recent years, made himself a star. He goes on to say how he's a total package, how he's a core member of what they want AEW to be. So he's not shying away from the questions. I know that Tom and I know Chad was saying that they believe MJF's already locked up. What do you guys think about this? I guess Tony Khan speaking openly about MJF as the guy. I think it's quite obvious. We know he is the guy, but to hear it out loud it's nice to hear.
I mean, I think I think Tony Khan absolutely means what he says, because we all know it to be true. MJF knows it to be true, but this is something that's going to come back to be used in storyline, because MJF could come back and say as it gets closer, oh, you said this here, you have to pay me the money. It's just, I think it's being worked for that story. It's going to be a fun story. MJF ain't going nowhere in 2024.
No, I think you're getting a lot of bleed through on things, but when Tony says MJF's the guy, he means it.
Oh yeah,
he knows he's the guy, but I think it's all story with MJF giving this bullshit up. Oh man, fuck this place. I want more money. Like, whatever, it's cool. Let him do his thing. It works.
Interviews lately where he's saying he loves AEW. He's putting the company over. So he said it when in the first year when he was doing interviews. This is my company. I'm never going anywhere.
Yeah.
So, Dude is amazing. He is, if you had a vote on the star of AEW for the 3 years, he'd get my vote. Like, he is the guy that has told the most story week in and week out. The must-see guy with his promos. With that match he had tonight, holy smokes. He doesn't get enough credit for his work in the ring. Him and Yuta tonight, just a banger of a match. So much fun. There's nothing MJF can't do at this point. And I love the little story they told at the end when he shook the hand and he got pissed at what's his name coming out and Lee Moriarty coming out and hitting Yuta. Like, it's a great another page in the story that we didn't see coming. Where is that going? This is storytelling. I did
enjoy that. That was great. The little teaser where MJF had a sign of a conscience a little bit, like, oh well, Yuta's my friend and maybe the fans are getting behind me, but he still sort of went into business for himself with the ring, but didn't ultimately hit Wheeler. So we didn't get that heel side. He was stopped from doing it, but it was still awesome to see. There's a lot of story to unpack with MJF. And he's on that cusp of that Stone Cold 1997 where he's about to go full baby face, but he's going to be undeniable as far as the main event push. I can't wait to see him with the championship. That seems like it's inevitable at this point.
I love the squeeze with the chip.
Yeah, it was great. They book him like the Grinch. Like his heart's slowly growing and growing and growing.
Perfect. I love it. That is perfect.
And Christmas is right around the corner, so it works.
One. We need to make a video of MJF.
No, right, so the last piece of news, I just want to just mention this part, and then we'll get into all the main parts of what's going on in Dynamite. There's a lot to unpack and a lot of good matches. So we have a live Battle of the Belts to go through. So Pac and Trent Beretta was set for Battle of the Belts 4. This will follow Rampage. So right after on Friday, October 7th, and they're airing back-to-back a 2-hour block. Rampage is at 10. And then obviously right after you get Battle of the Belts, it's later in the night, but people have been asking for, give us a reason to watch. We have championship matches. So Tom, you've been very critical of Battle of the Belts. Mike and I are stuck in our WCW world, so it feels like WCW to me. Do you think this is enough to get people to watch? I know it's later. It's a Friday night. But are you watching Battle of the Belts?
It definitely makes it more interesting. Like, because you don't know what's going to happen now. There's not spoilers. There is a huge difference between watching live wrestling and something that's pre-recorded. Even if it's an awesome show, if it's pre-recorded, there's something that's just not the same. So I think this is a great move. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm definitely more excited than any of the other three. So good for them. Good for them. I think it's a brilliant move. And listen, Saturday night's main event used to be on 11:30.
True.
So hell yeah, we're here for it. And maybe they'll let some cursing on it because it's not even on TBS. It's on TNT. Maybe we'll get some blood. Like we got to see Mox get censored tonight. Come on, this is my big boys wrestling. Let them say some bad words.
Man, their censor job sucks too.
It's so bad, yeah.
It's just, oh my god! But I'm fucking pumped for Battle of the Belts. I think it's going to be a good show. Time slot's great. I think you're getting people coming home from a Friday night of doing shit. Yeah. You know, like fucking people are putting their kids to bed. People are, finally getting to relax for the weekend. Maybe you have a couple drinks with your homies, sit in front of your TV and enjoy some fucking pro wrestling, man. That's the best part about it. Just like we do it on our Discord over the turnbuckletavern.com. You hit that shit up and you can just join our Discord and maybe we'll be watching some Battle of the Belts there.
We'll watch it together, guys.
So I think we may get one more match announced, but the 3 matches announced. I mentioned Pac defending his All-Atlantic Championship against Trent Beretta. He's doing double duty as well because he's defending his Trios Championship on Rampage. So that's the first time I think we've seen anybody in AEW do double duty. So Jade Cargill defending her TBS title against Willow Nightingale, and FTR defending the ROH titles against the Gates of Agony with Prince Nana, which is, I like that story. I liked him with Tully. I like him even more with Prince Nana. The legacy of the Embassy with Ring of Honor, it's well rooted and gives people a purpose, and the Ring of Honor Championship should be highlighted. It's been collecting dust on FTR's shoulder for way too long now.
Yeah.
They even defended the New Japan tag team titles. They're just collecting dust as well, right?
They were in New Japan. I'm not sure if they were on the line against Aussie Open, but they were just there this weekend.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they were on the line, but they were in London for the New Japan Strong Show.
It's crazy. Good stuff, though.
That was a great match, too. 31 minutes they went. So go ahead and check that one out. Aussie Open versus FTR. And that's where Dax got on the mic and said, book us, Tony Khan. We still work for you.
Yeah. Good shit. Good shit.
All right, you guys ready to go into Dynamite? Let's go deep into Dynamite.
Let's do it.
Like I said, we start off with that friggin' MJF and a Yuta match. I was there for it.
Yeah, it was
absolutely loved it. I mean, to me, is there anything that we've seen MJF do in 3 years that hasn't been good?
No,
I mean, you got to see it through always. Like, I feel like this match is a good microcosm of MJF in general. The match started off slow, was paced weird, and then they hit it out of the park with the near falls, and then they got the crowd in the palm of their hands with the rollovers. And as silly as some of the stuff that MJF does with stepping on the feet and the 1 counts and being an old school Paul Orndorff type of heel, because I see a lot of even Ric Flair too. We talk about Ric Flair comparisons with MJF. It was a perfect way to get the crowd behind Yuta because they didn't want to cheer him. They wanted to cheer MJF. And by the end of the match, people were cheering Wheeler Yuta. And it's a masterful job by MJF.
Yeah. I loved it. I thought it was great wrestling, fun. MJF looks great, fucking still, I didn't think there was any doubts about that. His in-ring work was good. Both guys fucking clashed together so well. It's like fucking putting beige and brown together, you know. It's just like bam. But good shit. I thought it was a really fun kickoff. Good fucking hot start to the whole show, and then the shit afterwards was fantastic too. Like really, really good.
Yeah.
And the rub from William Regal too, because like we haven't seen MJF and Regal interact in a meaningful way. Of course, they cross paths and he's on commentary for some of the matches, but having Regal in the ring with the brass knuckles and Max has the Dynamite diamond ring, it's like,
yeah,
he showed his respect by letting Regal have the ring. I thought that was awesome too, because easily you could just continue to push guys down. Regal has this allure about him that he still feels like an absolute badass, even though he's older.
He sure does.
I thought he was gonna walk up to MJF and be like, "You scrumptious pumpkin, get the fuck out of my ring."
The love affair with him and Excalibur has been blossoming every week now. So I don't know what's going on with that, but
yeah,
they got to go out to dinner or something soon, right?
Something that would be a good bring back for the dinner.
Yeah, like the musical, the MJF and Jericho musical with Regal and Excalibur. I would love that.
I'd pop for it, man. What was next? The second match was great too. We went into
Darby and my boy Jay Lethal.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Which I wasn't thinking it was going to be a bad match at all, but it fucking delivered hard. Darby's great, man. The pillars of AEW, with a little small exception to Sammy, they're still holding the company up, man. Still hard as fuck.
Right. How awesome is that too that we get to see it?
Yeah.
It has me wishing for more for Darby Allin. That's what I was thinking about during this match, where he always looks good, but he feels like he's the bridesmaid, never the bride. He was TNT champion for a bit. I know there's a certain Mick Foley nature to Darby Allin where he bumps for everybody. He makes everybody look like $1 million. Foley eventually got his moment. It had me thinking and unpacking, what could that look like if Darby was ever the guy? I know he's small, but wrestling's changed. I think Darby could eventually be that guy to be a world champion eventually. And he deserves it, man. The dude goes out there and puts his body on the line every single night. And I just want more for him. I don't want the Sting party matches with him. I think those are fun, but give me a meaningful storyline with Darby and like 1996, 1997 Sting. Give me that version of Darby Allin.
Yeah. You know, I don't disagree, but I also think, again, he's a baby too. He's young and sprung, man. And he's doing his best work right now. As long as he doesn't fuck himself up too hard on the bumps, I think we'll get a very, very impactful, very meaningful title run from him down the line, and it'll show off great. And hopefully Sting will still be there to, congratulate him, all that shit. I think there's a lot of rich, good storytelling to be told with Darby in the future. But I mean, he is kind of in limbo right now, but I wouldn't even say limbo. He's just kind of there, but he's still working. He's still doing great shit. Yeah, I don't know. I want to see it, but I'm not racing to the finish line to see Darby get that moment just yet.
Yeah, I have zero issues with it too. Like Darby has been playing a little bit of a different role now for maybe the last year since kind of CM Punk came in, right? Is when he kind of was put it into second gear, not into as high gear as he was. But I have no doubt he's going to be pushed again. So for a young guy like that, I have zero issues with what they've done for him. And again, I fully expect, like Mike said, he's going to get a title shot at some point. He's going to get a nice little run. The guy's just too talented not to be, and he means so much to this company.
Yeah,
we know MJF is the next guy, right? So out of the three, I mean, feel free either one of you guys to answer this. Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin. Who's the first to hold the world title out of three of them?
It's got to be MJF. Sammy is...
Oh, MJF was getting it, but the three, like Jungle Boy, Sammy, and Darby.
Damn. I would hope it would be Darby, because I think Darby's just a little bit above the rest. I think Jungle Boy's great, but he's still kind of stuck in this getting out of his tag team mode, becoming Jack Perry, and it doesn't help when Jim Ross isn't there to call him Jungle Jack Perry. But it's I don't see Sammy doing it right away, because Sammy's just a little too young still. He's what? How old is Sammy? Like 22, 23?
That's it.
Even yeah.
No,
Sammy's a baby. Sammy's got to be a baby. Like he totally. But he's living the dream. He's a fucking draw, and he's still good. Like that's why he's
29.
29. There you go. See, I always think they're younger than me. Everybody's in their fucking early 20s to me.
Wait till you get to my-
Ace is 24. Okay. But Tom, you're still like 100. It's okay. But yeah, no, it's got to be Darby, man.
You think
Because I could see Darby fucking clashing with MJF for the title. You know, there's so many possibilities.
Hey, listen, that match we've seen between Darby and MJF was only the beginning of, I think it's going to be a story that's going to be told for years. And I think I said it back then. We're going to see them battling in the main event of one of these pay-per-views down the road for the championship. So
Yeah.
it can absolutely be Darby. But I wouldn't rule out that it could be Jungle Boy. But I do think it'll be Darby. I think Darby gets the slight edge.
I think Darby's the easiest to heat up because he's already been kind of there. He took, Moxley to the limit. He's been in that spot. Sammy had that feeling during the tournament. Obviously, everybody knew he wasn't winning, but there was that fleeting doubt that you thought maybe, just maybe, they'd be like, you know what, let's take a chance on Sammy. He was tweeting the stuff. He fit in the 4 guys that were in the finals of the interim championship, not the interim, the vacant championship tournament. He fit there. It wasn't like he didn't fit there, but it's not saying that Jungle Boy or Darby wouldn't fit there either. So I think they're in a really good spot to have these 4 guys to build around. It's you can't ask for better, younger talent than those guys too. But they have to be able to utilize them well because eventually when their contracts are up, greener pastures are out there as well. Not even just WWE. Maybe Jungle Boy wants to go elsewhere and hone his craft elsewhere. And you have to be able to treat these guys well. And, when outsiders come in, you got to think about these guys that have been here since day one.
Yeah.
You got to treat them well first.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Good shit. Next match, we had Brian Cage and Wardlow. I thought
This match was a beautiful thing.
It was a beautiful thing. What's the name of the group?
Battle of the Bad Haircuts.
Wow.
I'm not saying the match wasn't good. I was just looking at the haircuts.
That's like Tom calling the kettle black, man.
Besides anybody.
What's the name of the group that Cage is with?
The Embassy.
They can't find a place where that motherfucker can't stick out like a sore thumb. I swear. he's like Coming to America Part 2.0, but with Brian Cage involved in it. Like it's just the weirdest.
He's just not human. Like he is a guy. He looks like he's like Donkey Kong. He really is. Like he's destroying. He is. He's the guy from Rampage, like the video games where they used to destroy the buildings. He's the giant gorilla that's destroying buildings. That's who he is.
It's weird, man. And it's
right on Rampage.
This was a good battle of 2 big dudes beating the big fucking sweaty men slapping each other's man meat. But it was I don't know. It left me wanting more, which might be a good thing down the road. Maybe we'll get Brian Cage has not been doing it for me since he got here. I liked him on Impact, but I didn't care. Like I wasn't like, oh shit, Brian Cage is here. It's okay. And he's still wearing the same gear that he debuted in. Fucking change it up a little bit.
He had the pink eye at Double or Nothing. Yeah, his eye was swollen shut with pink eye, like Bob.
Yeah. It's because Darby farted in his pillow.
But here's why, Mike. I think I was thinking about this too with Brian Cage. I think a lot of what made him popular in Impact and also in AAA and going out there, he's a big guy that does athletic lucha style wrestling, and that's a dime a dozen on the AEW roster. Everybody can do what he does. We watched Wardlow do the exact same thing. He was hitting, arm drags off the top rope, and we've seen Wardlow do moonsaults. Like he's a big dude that can move around, and there's a certain skill set that Brian Cage has, and it pops people. Say at AAA, they see this big American guy, and if you never seen him before, you can't believe that he's hitting the 619. But that wears off in AEW. Work rate you have to either be Kenny Omega or the best wrestler in the world, or you have to be able to do something shocking like Darby Allin, or you're just going to fall in between.
Yeah, I think they booked Wardlow perfectly, though, because when he breaks out those big lucha-style moves or the moonsaults or whatever, you're not expecting it. But Brian Cage goes out there, he's like fucking hotspot. Like, let's go. Let's spot. And you can't do that all the time. I have a great take here. Brian Cage would be perfect for the Triple H era of WWE. He 100%. Loves Terminator. Like I could totally see Triple H going, yeah, this guy's great, man. Put him over to the fucking moon. Like he's just. I think that would be a good place for him to learn how to slow down. You know what I mean? Like a lot of places, that's fucking a big thing coming from me talking proudly of WWE right now. But I think it's a good spot, a good place for him to slow down his craft, and really work at becoming a better in-ring performer, learning to save those spots for bigger matches like your pay-per-view matches and stuff. Just going out there and being a big guy. You know, just fucking people up.
Yeah, he's like Ray Phoenix. He's like Ray. It's like a creator wrestler. You gave Dave Bautista Ray Phoenix's moveset in SmackDown vs. Raw, and he just goes out there and does that stuff. And I think you're 100% right. WWE wouldn't allow him to work that style. They wouldn't want him to because of the fact you have the smaller guys doing it. You'd be exposing that. There's a psychology to it that a lot of times is missing on the indies. It's missing in AEW, that each match lives in its own island of let's just have the best match possible. But a lot of times you're not thinking about how it's interconnected to these other matches. Where think about all these pay-per-views ago where you had House of Black, or like the pieced together version of House of Black versus I think it was like Pac and Miro. They had that killer match on the pre-show, and it was the best match of the night. And it was like you had the crowd going crazy before anyone even was buying a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So there's got to be like a conversation like, hey, don't do this. We're going to do this later. This might be our finish. I feel like no one has that conversation.
Well, they used to do that. Like that was wrestling back in the day. Like, hey, I'm going to go out there and triple powerbomb somebody. And like Jericho would be like, hey, fuck off. That's my shtick. You don't get to do that. Now it's everybody's like, yeah, that's cool. Go ahead and do my moveset like fucking to the max. Like, it's great. Like, go for it, man. Like, nobody.
Like one of my favorite moves. What you're talking about, I agree with. Like, they've ruined a Canadian Destroyer for me. It was
100%.
Oh god,
fucking Dustin Rhodes does it now. I remember when P.D. Williams did that shit. I was like, an Amazing Red. I could not believe that shit. Like, it blew my mind.
That's one of my favorite moves ever, and now you see it like multiple times a night.
Everybody does it.
Yeah,
everybody does it.
That's a perfect move. That's the pointing case right there. That move.
And yeah, I mean, and this has been for a while. We've said this before, but the super kick, what a joke! What a joke that move is. It was so special when Shawn Michaels used to do it, and now you see super kicks coming from every friggin' angle, from every match.
Yeah.
If you watch any like Mid-Atlantic, Smoky Mountain type of documentaries or old shows, you get your legs broken for doing a spot that like, because you'd have a guy get, triple power bombed and be taken out on a stretcher. If you did that in the opening match, you would never be booked again, because they were like, that is our spot. That's going to be our huge angle throughout the summer. And you just did it as a near fall in your match. It's unacceptable. Yeah. So times have changed. I get that. But, a lot of that I want them to go back to. Maybe Brian Cage shouldn't be doing all this shit because, like you said, break it out on a pay-per-view. We've seen your whole box of tools, and what else is there in the box? Like, pull it out. It's like, he's just a big guy who flips around. Yeah,
he's wrestled 3 matches. You already know his whole repertoire, man. Like, it's embarrassing a little bit. Like, take a breath, man. Our good friend Stoney McGee always says, less is more. And less is definitely fucking more with Brian Cage. God, he works like you said. It's like if Ray Phoenix drank some mutagen and just turned into a goddamn like Ninja Turtle character. It's fucking ridiculous. I would
shout out to
love
OFG, by the way. Thank you for the David Arquette 8x10 and some stickers. You're the man, dude. That was a nice surprise coming to my door this week. So thank you, OFG.
Yeah. Gotta love the David Arquette 8x10s.
Dude,
you should have signed it though.
Not signed. I'm still gonna put it in here, and it's gonna be proudly displayed.
No, Stoney should have fucking signed.
Yeah, Stoney, I'm sending it back to you. You're gonna get it back. I need you to sign it.
Goddamn, kid. But yeah, man. Wardlow looks great. $1 million fucking bucks. I don't know. Every time he comes out on TV, the crowd loves him. He's doing his shit properly. Good, well-paced wrestler, fucking handling his game. I enjoy it.
Story for him. That's what I'm like craving for Wardlow. A great long-term story.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, he just came out of one though.
We got the Warjo stuff going on with FTR, so there's story going on right now.
I don't care about Warjo for some reason. They just why is he involved in a tag team? He's the TNT title. He doesn't need that.
I'm not saying it's the story we want. It's the story they're going with.
It's the story they got.
Let's start building up a slow feud with him and Hobbs. That's a match.
I want him and Joe for the TNT title.
That'd be a great.
I love that.
There's another one.
Yeah.
Stop throwing your champions into tag teams and trios. Like they did. Like it's a crutch they're using too much, and we've seen it in WWE for how long? So you think they wouldn't do it, but we are seeing it here.
Well, they did it with Lex Luger the whole 1996. He didn't defend his goddamn television title all year and then just lost it. So
and was cutting shitty promos in the meantime. It was great.
At least Wardlow can cut decent promos. So
it was very well. And again, I didn't get to say this. I wasn't here the last 2 weeks, but Yuta impressed me on the mic. I enjoyed his work on the mic. I thought he
It was surprisingly good.
Yeah. And if he got to do it more, it'd only get better.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get that shot now. I love Yuta.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the powerbomb sequence because I was not expecting that last one. And I was like, holy shit, like he got him up again. Like, and that's, fucking an applause to Brian Cage being such a big fucking dude that could still do the flip after getting slammed on his back so many times. It looked great, man.
I have to say, though, it was nice to see FTR get their pop that they deserve. And it's like people didn't forget, when they came out. It must have been, I know that everybody knows they're going to get a pop, but for them to get the reception that they did get coming out on Dynamite together for the first time, and God knows how long it's been, they had to have breathe a sigh of relief a little bit. Like, we're still over. We put the gas back on the stove. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
I got to call him out on this just because everybody talks about, Young Bucks top. They're barely ever on TV when they were there, the Young Bucks. They didn't have a ton of matches on TV. If you look over the last year, I would be shocked if they had 5 matches on Dynamite.
I don't know about that.
Okay. I don't know. Let's see how many they had. What do you so you're picking the over? How many do you think they had?
As far as what, as a team or individually?
As a team.
I'm giving them 10 plus this whole year.
For the last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say probably 7. I'm going to go 7.
Yeah, I'll round her to 10, but I'm just saying.
Which is a lot considering that there's only 2 or 3 hours of television every week that's meaningful. Then you had the pay-per-views on top of it.
Yeah, but they were heavily in the trios thing. Before that, they were still on TV doing their shit.
Tom's gonna be doing the Mike Frances accounting for the rest of the show.
I'm not gonna fall asleep though. Don't worry. I don't have a
2,
3.
But I do want to go back. We did see Wardlow in a really, really big program leading up to Double or Nothing with MJF and stuff. So he hasn't not been in a big storyline. He's just not in a huge one right now. So they're not taking. I don't think they're taking the gas off of him. They're letting him go out and do his thing as the TNT champion. They're not really taking away anything from him. I'm sure they'll be throwing him in a program sooner or later. They're just letting him have fun with the top fucking guys, which who doesn't want to have fun with the top fucking guys?
I just think the blind side for Tony Khan has been he can get them there, have them have that moment. We've seen Thunder Rosa, we've seen Wardlow have that moment, FTR having big moments. It's what happens after. He treats the TNT championship win for Wardlow as the season finale. It was he got his moment, and then he disappeared from TV and he was feuding with Mark Sterling and the security guards. He needs to really work on what comes after. Someone just needs to start a program with him. And even if it's not someone that can beat him, have consistent matches on pay-per-views, on TV. It's the TNT championship. It should be on Rampage every single week.
I agree. 100% agree.
That's a great, excellent point.
And hopefully Rampage being live will fix that up a little bit more,
Yeah.
Hopefully. I think Jade should have been wrestling this week. They didn't need to do a fucking trios women's match. You got your TBS champion not prominently featured on TBS fucking programming. It's mind-boggling to me.
It's in the name, you know what I mean? It's in the name. If you're TBS, it's your
EA Sports, man.
Yeah.
TBS. It's in the name.
It's in the name.
But yeah, and speaking of, we'll wiggle right into that. We had Athena, Toni Storm, Will Nightingale versus Jamie Hayter.
Long Island represent.
I rock it. Jamie Hayter, Penelope Ford, and Serena Deeb. Not a bad match. No. Not by any means.
I thought it was a shining example of what the women can do. It was a lot going on. I wish they would be more singularly focused on something, but it's showcased their talent in a good way. And I'm really hopeful for, Jamie Hayter's push, Willow Nightingale getting the pin here. That popped me huge. I might be biased. I love Willow Nightingale and NYWC. I love what she does in the indies. She's a even super nice person on top of being a super talented competitor. Fuck, man, I was so pumped. I would go to the nth degree to say I would want her to beat Jade Cargill at Battle of the Belts. But again, that's the Long Island bias speaking.
So I have the answer to the Young Bucks question.
And you're probably right because you're smiling over there.
So in the last year in tag team matches on Dynamite, they had 4 tag team matches, not including trios.
Well, they see you tailored the numbers to fit your.
I said tag team matches. I said,
"What's up, Meltzer? Come the fuck
but I did say tag.
I was speaking matches wise, but
honestly,
they were also
they had a ton more trios matches than I even expected.
Yeah,
super click and stuff. So they had more than I had expected for that.
Oh yeah, because we forgot, we solely already forgot about Adam Cole and the Super Click. Even though that was like 2 months ago, like it's fucking wrestling brain.
4 months ago now.
It probably feels like 4 months, but it was probably like 2 months ago.
No, because Cole's been hurt since the Forbidden Door.
Yeah,
and that was in June.
Okay,
it's crazy. So, yeah, he's been gone since then.
Yeah, so I think he had the one appearance where they turned on the Bucks.
Yeah,
he was on TV.
Head trauma is not fun to fuck with. Much like Wu-Tang, it ain't nothing to fuck with. But yeah, no, great women's match. Like Ace said, I'll strongly agree with that we need something more singularity focused. But it was a good. I mean, if this match happened on the second year or the first year of Dynamites, I think everybody would have fucking been like, "Damn, the women's division is so good right now." And I think it's just, right. I think there was just. Look how far we've come. That's what this match was. Like, look how far we've came with the women's division.
The thing that really popped me, let's get the point of this match. We got to see Saraya in action. We now know she's cleared to wrestle. It's the first time we've seen her do anything.
Called that action?
she went at it with Britt. She kicked, so it's like more than we've seen her do. So
they were hugging and doing this a little bit, and then she did that really that I hope she doesn't have bad ring rust. I hope she's training really well because
I'm sure we're not going to see her in a match till at least the pay-per-view, so she's got time to get it.
Yeah, absolutely. But she did look a little. She still looks a little off her game.
I mean, she wasn't Bret Hart like when she was fresh either. So like,
absolutely. But that's. I mean,
but listen, it was just good to see her get involved in action again, knowing we're going to see her down the line wrestle at some point.
Yeah, that kick.
Yeah, that kick.
That kick through. Reba Rebel. It was oof. It was a little hard to watch because like she barely even touched the shoulder.
Well, that's fine for what it was.
They did a good job with the camera angle.
Yeah, of course.
We'll give them that. But I'm listen. I'm pumped.
Bottom line is not physical. Like we know she's going to be getting physical. So
yeah,
physical. Everybody.
Watching this match though, it emphasized to me that Jamie Hayter is the future of this women's division, as well as Willow Nightingale. Like. I know I'm just saying I'm speaking very highly of her, but she was super impressive in this match. Like whether it be, I mean, she wasn't involved in the beginning of the match. When she got in the ring, her facial expressions, her ability to elicit sympathy from the live crowd, people were super behind her. Man, she's not on TV that often for people to actually care. And she was getting a decent reaction for someone who's inconsistently on television. I'm excited. And Jamie Hayter, let's pull the trigger already. Goddamn. Like she's so over.
I'll give a little sneak peek, guys. Listen to the debate show. If you want to hear more Jamie Hayter getting over on Monday with our special.
That's episode 100, guys. We need
episode number 100 with our guest debater, Sam Roberts. So check it out Monday morning. You don't want to miss this one. It was a lot of fun, a lot of laughs.
Did you ask Sam Roberts to scissor you? Because we got National Scissors Day that we're going to be talking about in a second.
Oh my goodness.
No, we didn't.
All right. Well, maybe next time.
You should have. Everybody should. Let's all do an honorary. Hold on. We're going to figure out the camera here. Scissors here. Scissors here. Scissors at everybody. It's National Scissors Day. I loved it. I thought this was one of the best non-wrestling segments I've seen in wrestling all year.
So much fun.
So
it was
good.
so silly. Fucking Billy Gunn is still so great. I loved how he did the Rock. For the millions. And millions, which I was not expecting. I thought he was going to go towards the DX thing.
Me too.
I was totally expecting it, but man, this was a really fucking fun segment until Swerve came on.
Yeah. Listen, there's a perfect spot for him to come out and get that heat. Like I actually think this heel version of Swerve is a little more interesting than the Swerve we've seen thus far. So
yeah.
He's an awesome heel, and the fact that he's leaning into it, he is taking the role of Commissioner Slaughter in 1997. Like, you guys are having your kids being influenced by the Acclaimed. They're gonna get suspended for school by Billy Gunn. I love that they reference the Suck It thing, and 20 years later, they have the same stuff. 25 years later, we have the same stuff going on. It's Billy Gunn is timeless, man. And the other thing I was thinking as well. We have on Raw from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Tom, I'm not sure if you're going because it is kind of local to you. We have the DX reunion or whatever it is, anniversary show. And everyone's going to be there aside from Billy Gunn. But Billy Gunn has to be the one laughing right now where he's still relevantly over. Instead of doing this nostalgia shtick, he has his own new thing.
Not only is he over,
it's amazing.
Wrestling next week. And you know what? We've seen him wrestle in the last year. The guy could still go. He could go better than anybody in that DX right now.
He's a top tier talent, man. Nobody else in DX can go, I think, with the exception of X-Pac. Right, X-Pac
before he got hurt in GCW, which he looked fantastic in his short GCW run. But you're right, Billy Gunn can still go. He was wrestling full time before this whole managerial thing.
Yeah, Scissors Me Daddy shirts. I've sold out. I
they
love
were
it.
So at Grand Slam, Tom, I'm sure you saw that, you were there. They had full stands with the Scissor Me shirts, and everyone was buying them, and they were front and center. You would think
the #1 selling shirt this year, not this week, this year for AEW.
I mean, Long Island guys, though, Bowens and Caster, Create a Pro for Caster. I'm not sure if Bowens was Create a Pro as well, but he's a Long Island guy as well.
Bowens is the Jersey brand.
Oh, Jersey. All right. So
Wrestle Pro? Is it Wrestle Pro? I think it's called Wrestle Pro. Yeah. So
and for Caster, just the level of success that he's reached in such a short period of time, it is a great story of letting something build organically and not going against the grain, not resisting the whirlpool momentum. We've seen so many times. I could think of Rusev Day, where Rusev was so over and could have been the next big thing, as silly as the Rusev Day thing was with, the whole thing. And it seems silly and they wanted to go against it. The fact that they just leaned into it. They put Billy Gunn with them and they got him away from the guns. They're like, you know what? All in on this. Let's see where it goes. And it's amazing.
I just want to debate this comment for real quick from Young Anthony. Like, he's saying Acclaimed is a perfect example of when AEW goes all in on their homegrown talent, that they can make stars. But this is what happens when your homegrown talent gets over. It's not just that AEW is going all in on them. They've gotten over and they're going with it. It's a combination of the both.
And I will echo this statement until I see it happen in person, but they should have totally pulled that trigger at the pay-per-view.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I get the
reaction. I mean, and Ace and I were at both shows, and the reaction at Grand Slam was amazing. It was fun, but there was electricity in that crowd in Chicago that it would have been more special if it happened in Chicago.
We were hungry for it at the pay-per-view. Like, everybody wanted it, and they were clamoring for it. So when they announced that they were doing the rematch for the Grand Slam shows, like, it was like, oh, okay, they're gonna win. Because it's just like
something away from it.
Yeah, it's like advertising dirt sheets, basically. Like, oh yeah, guess what? The Acclaimed's gonna. It was good. Like, listen, I'm so fucking pumped because I think they are one of the most over things in AEW right now, or in general.
Them for getting themselves over with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did love the Swerve had the Rock. And then fucking Smart Mark Sterling comes running out and paper beats Rock. Shut your mouth in the all pink suit. And, obviously we know there's history between Caster and Sterling and Create a Pro and all that shit. It was a great segment. Of course, they beat the shit out of Sterling to finish it off. Like, it was good, man.
Plays that role so well. Like, it's great. Like,
Yeah. Very entertaining. Always entertaining when he comes out there. Like, I never like, fuck, this guy's out here again. Like, he's always fun.
He's like he's not on a level of Bobby the Brain Heenan as a manager, but it's fun the way he takes to beatings like Bobby
100%.
Heenan.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I know it's hard to put him in that class, but there's no one else to really compare him to as far as a manager that gets physical. I know Bobby wasn't really physical at the end because of the injuries he had and stuff, but in the beginning, in the Weasel costume, the guy could go a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, Bobby could go back in the day.
When Andre used to get a hold of Bobby when they were against each other and he would slap him and Heenan would just fly over the top rope. Like, the guy was so much fun to watch get beat up.
He fucked his bump card over.
Just to continue what we were talking about with Anthony, I do agree with him because there is so many examples of guys getting TV time that's not, momentum is.
No, Anthony made a good point here. I agree. Like, he agrees with what I said, but he also made a point here. And listen, you want to talk about Orange Cassidy? His build was awesome, but he's just kind of gotten stale because there's nothing new coming of it. They got to do something. He's got to come up with something to continue to build himself to get the people back interested.
Yeah. It's a chicken or the egg thing, though, because there's a lot of times he's not on TV. I think the Acclaim became undeniable. Their segments on Dark, too, were being, and to your point, Tom, people were seeking them out everywhere they could find them, checking out their raps. People posted them. they were seeing, because there's a mix of the New Age Outlaws, DX, and then also John Cena with this caster stuff. So people want to see what he's going to say. He's relevant from week to week. If there's a hot button topic that's out there, caster touches it, and people are looking forward. When that music hits, boom. It's like the old Thugonomics music when it used to hit. When that first chord would hit.
Well, back to Orange Cassidy. What has he done in the last year that's any different to grow himself? You know, he
hasn't been involved in a major storyline. I agree with you, but
he was involved with the storyline with Cole, and that was just stale. It was nothing.
I think
the hug. It was terrible.
I think they fucked Cassidy over after Jericho because they didn't pull the trigger on him.
Yes,
harder after the Jericho feud. So he just you only get so much time for the fire to continue to grow and get more bigger. And if you blow it off, then it kind of throws like a stain on that person, you know, like Adam Cole can come back and, you know, everybody loves Adam Cole. And it's just like, man, he's lost his, we miss you too, Bubba. But Adam Cole like lost his flame here for me. Like if he comes back, like he's better fucking come back 10 times stronger and get crazier. You know, like that's what I want to see. It's just, I don't know. It's weird.
I want ROH Adam Cole. That's what I want. I want badass Ring of Honor champion.
NXT Adam Cole is better than what we've seen.
He was way better in Ring of Honor. I would love if Adam Cole comes back. I want him to come back 10 times stronger. I want him to have his old Ring of Honor music. You know, like that. The fucking. It had a vibe, you know?
Yeah, top guy shit. Like he felt like a top guy.
Maybe
he feels like a minor character here. Even when he's interacting with Kenny Omega, or there was other segments as well. I'm trying to think. There's one example of it where he's with the Bucks and stuff, where he's taking the back seat to them. He feels like a geek. Oh, and also with Jay White, that whole stuff with Jay White in the build to Forbidden Door. He's like, all right, you go sit on the side. It's like,
and it's the same thing they did.
Not top guy shit.
No,
Omega was leaving in that little promo. They kind of buried him in that promo when he's like, "I'll do it," and he's like, "I wasn't talking to you." He's like, "Oh, okay," and he steps back.
Well, I think I think that was trying to plant seeds for the trios thing.
No, I don't disagree, but the thing is now, like it sucks that he's hurt, but maybe this break from TV gives him the reset when he gets back.
You know what's gonna fucking really reset him? Not having Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly with forcing.
I agree.
The undisputed down your throat, because we didn't need
to
bring over the whole team from NXT. Like it would have been better let fucking do it in a couple years, maybe do it down the line, couple months. But Adam Cole should have came in as a fucking hard hitter, like we knew him from NXT. But like hell yeah, this is the guy we got. Like have him go into a program, do whatever. But like I think throwing him right away with fucking Cole and Riley, it just really it was like, oh, let's paint this barn a different color and call it the same barn and see if it does the same thing. Like
it was like WWE version of NWO. You brought in the same Undisputed Era without the teeth. It was just like we'll repackage it, like you said. You paint it over and just say, here you go. It's the repackaged version with a different name. Here's the store brand. We can't have their music. You can't have.
And it also, like, the other thing that hurt Cole was coming over at the time he did, when you had Punk, you had Danielson, and you had Malachi Black come in hot. If he comes in 6 months to a year later, maybe it's a different story.
Yeah.
Or before. You know what I mean? Like,
before, 100%, just not at that time.
But even his debut was overshadowed by Bryan Danielson. It was the same night. Like, he got a huge pop, and then now everyone remembers Danielson for coming out, and rightfully so. I mean, that moment was awesome because it would have been awesome with Cole, but I think Danielson just took it over the top, and that's speaking to who they are as characters. But Adam Cole has been he got the short side of the stick a couple times in AEW, and I'm hoping that they have a lot invested in him coming forward.
And when he comes back, it's a total reset because it's been a long enough break that I feel like they could do that.
He's a fucking sweetheart. I love that guy. I hope he stays. I hope he gets better.
Step down, nerd.
Yeah, no, nobody's wrong. That's for sure. Then we got fucking Sky Blue backstage. This is their first time on Dynamite in the segment, like outside of wrestling a match, right?
I think she was last week too. Wasn't she involved in a segment on a stage?
I'm not even sure, honestly.
I don't think so. But yeah,
or she
that's my. What was who's the girl you're all hot for, Ace?
Who's that?
The one that just wrestled tonight. I can't think of her name.
Willow Nightingale. That's my girl.
Sky Blue's my Willow Nightingale. I love Sky Blue.
Is she Chicago? Is that where she's from?
Yeah, she's
all right, here you go.
And she got so over at All Out last year during she did the Wednesday like dark match, and fucking crowd ignited. Like, and that's why she got hired, because Tony Khan brought her out on Rampage and was like,
you guys were
"You want a fucking contract? I'm putting you in the battle royal. You're gonna be in the women's battle royal with Ruby Riott before Ruby Riott gets debuted. It's gonna be great."
I went down that rabbit hole of watching a whole bunch of Sky Blue indie matches. She could work. She's freaking phenomenal. I'm a huge Sky Blue fan.
Still working.
I'm serious. I'm not gonna sit back and take this fucking shit.
I love it.
I love it. Yeah, after he's done saying that.
I try to fit it in right after your Tony Khan rant to make it go seamless, because if someone's listening to this audio, they're like, where does Tony Khan end? Where does he begin? I'm not sure.
That's the illusion, man.
Use her, man, because she's the future of this women's division as well.
She's great, and she's young, and
She's
she
like 21.
She can cut a fucking promo way better than Ty Conte can.
Dude, Ty Conte on the mic is a liability.
Yeah.
Good wrestling in the ring, but she should never have a microphone.
She needs a manager.
Ever.
It's a hazard, like to anyone, like horrible.
100%.
Horrible.
Skate Boo, I'll fight you so hard. You suck. It's like it's like what you would like cosplay wrestling. You know, it's like
I'm not going to make my Ty Conte remarks here because I will get censored and canceled. So,
yeah, well, you don't gotta get too harsh. She just can't cut a promo.
Facebook user,
this is Mama B, right?
Mama B,
I think it's Mama B. It's usually Mama B when Facebook pops in.
She'll fix it in a second.
She's the third man. She comes in with the Sting mask and she pulls the Facebook user mask off, and it's EMP underneath. But yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, keep Ty Conte away from the microphone.
Ty Conte, never let her speak.
And she's a sweetheart. I feel so bad saying that.
I like Anna Jay with this one. She's done well.
Anna Jay's good.
Yeah,
Anna Jay's great. But keep Tay away from the fucking microphone.
Never ever allow her to speak on a mic again.
Skype, you are the clouds are coming. We're gonna put the thunderstorm on Skype.
So much better than she actually sounds on a mic.
It's definitely Mama B now. I love it. But yeah, moving on to another pretty fucking solid ass match: Hangman versus Rouge, or on El Ito 2.0.
Playing the role of Andrade tonight is Rouge.
Yeah, and it's seamlessly
when somebody's like recasted for a day.
It worked out great. It's like when
it's fake Diesel all over again, but better.
But way better. Done correctly. They didn't put the blast mask on him and say this is Andrade, which they easily could have. That would have been great if they just gave Rouge the black mask and had him fight Preston. So mask versus career.
The whole presentation was him. Like, it's Jose the assistant,
easily.
And it's like pulls the mask off, pulls the pants. Like, it's like they went out of their way to make him Andrade tonight. Like, you know what? You're replaceable.
Do you think guys like Rouge and Bandito are going to be moved over to Ring of Honor when that gets a TV deal?
I don't see Bandito. I think Bandito is going to be in AEW. I think they have big plans for him.
Yeah,
I could totally see a good portion of the roster going towards Ring of Honor side, but I still think there's going to be intertwining always. But it's not going to be as heavily.
I don't want it to be all the time. I want it to feel special when they do it.
No, I think it'll be very different, but it's going to still be intertwined.
It's like that first Harry Potter movie, right? When they switch over, what's the name, Dumbledore, and it's no longer Dumbledore, and like everyone just accepts it's the same character. So rock'em sock'em, you're onto something. Like it's Rouge playing the role of Andrade here, but better.
It's okay. Yeah,
everyone likes the second Dumbledore better anyway.
I feel like they've ramped up the Ring of Honor stuff lately, which makes me hopeful that there's a deal coming very soon.
Felt like an invasion tonight. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, it did, and it's a good thing because the way they've built it lately, as a guy who was kind of getting stale, I felt stale. Like Ring of Honor was getting stale on a TV. They've got me interested in if they get their own product now.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen before the end of the year.
I agree. That's how it feels like that for sure.
Yeah, I'm guessing we're going to have one more pay-per-view from them by the end of the year with a huge announcement involved with it.
Awesome.
We'll get Final Battle in December, so that has to be, if he's going to stick to the schedule, Final Battle's coming up in December, so
what a great time for that. To piggyback off of getting a TV deal. Like, oh, we're gonna do Final Battle. We're gonna do Final Battle, and then we're announcing that we got a streaming service or something, and that's what it's gonna go, and it'd be great.
But he owns the rights to Honor Club. I don't understand. Like, why don't we just do this as a temporary holder? Maybe there's a maintenance fee to get it up and running again, but they just put it on a hiatus.
Just slap that shit on StreamYard. Come on. What are you doing, Tony?
or just YouTube. You have 2 slots.
Yeah.
2 guard elevation. Just change the turnbuckles, change the band, change the aprons, change everything.
Yeah. That would totally be Ring of Honor, AEW, like WWE, CW.
I get it's not ideal, but at this point, like Tom's
Something's
saying,
better than nothing.
It muddies the stories. Like it's too much to do in too little time. And I know Jericho is bringing prestige back to the ROH title. It feels important. It feels, for the first time in this AEW umbrella, feels like a world championship, and that's a credit to Jericho and what he's been able to bring towards it. You can't say that. And when it was defended with Gresham at Battle of the Belts, I think that was Battle of the Belts 3, it felt like it was the European Championship. Like,
yeah.
And I love ROH, but it felt like the most meaningful title. That's the world title at Battle of the Belts. Not great.
No. And like, listen, that's how better to paint your fucking product than having Chris Jericho as your champion. FTR is your tag team champions. Like, I think he's slowly setting up the chessboard to get everything set up perfectly for a good run for Ring of Honor. So people will be like, fuck, I want to watch Ring of Honor, but it is it's like pissing in the pool of AEW too much right now. And it's like, it's a really stinky water slide.
Don't pee in the pool, everybody.
Yeah. Don't shit where you eat.
So we had the Luchasaurus squash and Fuego del Sol. I love Christian as a heel with the turtleneck. The presentation of Christian is probably best of his career. I know that might be recency bias, but I love what Christian's doing. He's such a despicable heel in the best way possible.
Dude, he's just being Christian Cage. Every time I've met that guy, he's always been like, what's up, Mark? Like, you know, it's just like, he has that mentality. So like, I very believe the character. I like the way they're presenting Luchasaurus, but I don't like the way they're presenting Luchasaurus. Too much on the Kane vibe. They should have did like a fucking Creatures of the Lagoon like type thing, or, you know, something like that. Like give him more of a monstery feel, but it's like the red light, too much red lights in wrestling. The Fiend had the red light, Kane had the red light. Give him something different. Like fucking give them all white lights.
Let's clip this for the shorts on YouTube. Bellcaster shoots on red lights.
Fuck red lights, man. It's fucking bullshit. And
you guys have red light tickets in Chicago? Can you guys get a ticket at the red light?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That
Isn't that
sucks
bullshit?
Now, man.
No, it's crazy. You get them for going like 4 over speed limits now too. With certain,
they got
certain
the
like
cameras in the sky.
Terrible, yeah. Black helicopters and drones taking
full
fucking
circle.
Pictures. Yeah,
Cody Rhodes is coming back to
Cody Rhodes is coming back to the wrestling. Luchasaurus is a human. Just the actor from the Big Brother drank the water and it turned him into a goddamn dinosaur.
So before we get to the main event, do you guys want me to give you the card for Rampage and Dynamite next week? I know I gave you Battle of the Belts, but do you want me to wait till after the main event, or would you want the card now?
Run it down real quick.
Oh wait,
right,
real quick though. I was very happy to see Fuego back.
Yeah, that's our boy.
It was like a little, like, I was like, oh, Fuego's here. Like
That's
no intro, no nothing. Like jobber fucking Fuego, and I loved it.
Yeah,
Jobber of AEW, right?
I loved it. It's okay. He did, at least they're still bringing him back, man. The guy deserves a paycheck. He's fun. He's entertaining to get thrown around.
Hey, listen, when you're good at putting people over and making them look good, you deserve to be there and do it.
I would have fucking popped so hard if it was Marco Stunt though.
oh my
And
god,
Jungle Boy comes out and is like, like, why not? You don't gotta hire fucking Marco. Bring him in for 3 shows.
AEW brings people in for appeapperances, so there's no reason why.
It would be
Marco's
fucking
got heat
so
with
good.
Tony though. Marco's never coming
does.
back. He's got heat
Fucking
with Tony.
bullshit. But I would have loved it.
Marco in GCW
not
is the perfect place for him.
Yes, but it would be, just for one fucking
know.
thing
Yeah,
would be
just
so goddamn good. Like just
tie
to
up that
wrap
loose
up.
end.
Yeah,
just tie
because
it up.
they just let him go. And like, imagine fucking Luchasaurus just killing Marco Stunt in a match. like a Spike Dudley thing, you know, throwing him into the fucking 3rd row, smacking the shit out of him, and then Jungle Boy comes out and, you know, you stop it, man. What are you doing to Marco? Like, it would have just been, it would be more meaningful to the long-term fans.
Like the Zach
great
Gowen, wheelchair thing with Brock Lesnar. We threw him down the stairs. Like that build up.
It would be great, man.
Or
Just
the Rey Mysterio Big Show thing when he put the stretcher, like something
dude,
like that.
The fucking lawn dart. It would be like
Yes,
lawn dart.
Marco.
Fucking, yeah, do it, man. But like, what a way to make people fucking super hate Luchasaurus. And what a way to tie into that story. Make it one thing. It doesn't need to be a whole fucking segment. Just have him kill him once in a match, and Jungle Boy comes out like, "Stop that! What's wrong with you, bad dinosaur? Go back to the fucking zoo." Like, Christian's just sitting there drinking red wine in his turtleneck, like, "You fucking marks, like fucking stupid idiot." But now, please continue. I didn't mean to. I wanted to just throw out
that was a good segue. I kind of want to see a one-off where he's from the Portland area, right? The Pacific Northwest. So maybe when they're in that area, he'll come through.
Please,
maybe, right?
It would be
All
good.
Right, so Rampage is live, as I mentioned before, on October 7th. That's this Friday. We have Death Triangle defending their trios tag titles against John Silver, Alex Reynolds, and 10. We have Josh Woods and Tony Nese with Mark Sterling against the Varsity Blondes. Madison Rain and Sky Blue versus Ty Mello and Anna Jay. And in the main event, we have John Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli versus Roosh and Private Party with our good friend, Jose the assistant.
Can we talk Claudio, please?
Claudio, excuse me, pardon.
So then for Dynamite next week, we have, this is the debut of Toronto. This is a big deal. We've been waiting for them to cross the border and go to Canada. This is a huge deal. We have 3 matches thus far. Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus with Christian Cage in his corner. We have Billy Gunn returning to the ring. Daddy Ass versus Swerve Strickland. And in the main event, Chris Jericho defending his ROH World Championship against Bryan Danielson. So that should be an awesome match. There has been some murmurs. Maybe they're going to put the title on Bryan Danielson. I don't think so. I think this run of Jericho is going to continue.
It would be awesome.
He's just going to run through people. I think he's running through the old ROH guys, and I think Samoa Joe might be next.
And that's what he said he was going to do, so go for it. I like it.
I would have popped so hard if Danielson was the one to fucking go into the fucking show with the title, which is just to tie it all in the big circle. Like, finally Danielson's back in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Give him something meaningful to do. Jericho puts the prestige on the title, and then bam. It would be great. So fucking cool. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. And it has me, as much as I was siding away from the punk side of things, it has me just at least selfishly wanting CM Punk in Ring of Honor. We had the glimpse of it with the dog collar match with the Mizira Kantar, and he dressed in the shorts, and we had the presentation. It just sucks we're not going to see him in ROH because it felt like it was tailor-made for that nostalgia trip, getting Bryan Danielson and CM Punk, that famous photo that made MJF want to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
The two, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, shaking hands on Wrestling Classics Instagram. Could have had that moment recreated, but
maybe we do.
Maybe Punk comes back. Yeah, never say never.
I think it's a little telling that there's been besides the suspension, no repercussions.
Yeah, if Punk was gone. If Punk was going to be released, he'd be gone.
There's too much on the line. He's on he's the guy selling the video game. He's got fucking, God, how many fucking new toys coming out in the next year? Yep.
He's the number one maker for that company. They cannot let him go right now.
Yeah, including the fucking dog collar match toy. Like we're getting a lot of Punk. Punk sells. Punk people still want to see him, and I think that's why Tony was just like,
his merch hasn't been selling through this whole thing. So.
That's true too. There's you didn't get the Punk's Pro Wrestling Tee store reopened, last week.
What's the top selling figure? First day in CM Punk.
Probably. Why not?
No, it is. It's not probably. It is.
That's a fucking. That's a spoiler.
Let's fucking go.
See, they're like that media scrum and the other media scrum are like night and day.
It's like he's happy and sad. We need the middle. Well, there's a middle one. He's like tired in another one.
But like Tony's the fucking balled out crackhead in that one, and then Punk comes out and he's the balled out crackhead in this one. Like, hey, fuck everybody, I'm burning this place to the ground.
We need these Punk media scrum drops, man. We need it.
Yeah, absolutely. We do.
I got it set up to go too. I'll fucking do it. Shoot me a text on Sunday and remind me, and I'll do it Sunday when I'm off.
Hell yeah, we need them on here for next week. There's so many good drops that could be. They could have been intertwined this whole show.
Yeah.
Shoot me the text Sunday. I'll get it done.
Fuck yeah. I wouldn't have had to say shit where I eat. I could have just let Punk say it for.
It's time for the main event.
Damn, wrong guy. I like it.
I'm feuding with Mark Henry.
You are, man. You hate his fucking figure. This tweet him. I fucking light him up.
Dr.
Like, hey,
Death's body. That's what it is.
I mean, they did that with a lot of people though. Like Owen Hart was fucking Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett was Owen Hart. There's a lot of weird shit going on.
We got a Nick Stormstein. Where have you been, sir? There's a spot right next to me.
The dingo has.
Where's the kangaroo?
He let him go. The kangaroo let him go so he could get on the wrap up and talk to our beautiful selves. We miss you, Nick Storm.
We miss you, Nick Storm. Come in here, man.
We need a wanted poster for when he doesn't show up, so we can put it as a little box in the corner, like wanted Nick Storm.
We need it for every week.
That's harsh, Tom. Harsh. I love you, Nick Storm.
Nick Storm. Fire his ass up to get him back here.
Tom shoots on Nick Storm.
Yeah.
He took that shit personal, and he shot on him.
Get some here in person. That would be even better. We'll go into a Twitter war.
Sometimes we got to take a sabbatical, okay? It's okay.
Sometimes you must.
Sometimes you must.
Kangaroo stole his sunglasses, and I'm trying to... Dude, I'll buy you a new pair of sunglasses. Get your ass back here.
Tom will buy you the sunglasses, but I'll buy you a new, nicer kangaroo. How about that one? He took that personal.
All right, so the main event, we have Bryan Danielson and the ROH Pure Champion Daniel Garcia taking on the ROH World Champion Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. Somehow fresh off this fist fight in the back, Sammy Guevara's none for the worse. He's out there. He's wrestling. He looks happier than ever. We saw a lot of Sammy signs in the crowd. I love Sammy. There was Sammy Dramara, which was a funny sign. It's hard to say out loud, but if you see it spelled out, it was funny.
Dramara.
And then we also had the fuck Sammy chance to start the match. But I'll let one of you guys take the lead about what you thought about this match.
I don't know what I get the heat behind Sammy, and I'm so glad that they separate him and Tay a little bit more. It's good. It's good when you need it, but it's okay to take them apart off TV. Like, they don't need to be on TV together every time you see them. Good to see him back. The sex gods making a comeback. Sammy fucking rocked, and I loved when he did his whole 10-move segment. The crowd's like, "You still suck, but this is great." And it was
want to boo you.
Yeah, but the kid is fucking effortlessly good in the ring. I thought him and Garcia rocked back and forth. Like when Sammy went to go do the cutter and Garcia fucking stopped it and grabbed him and put him in the submission. It was so good, man. And this team of Garcia and fucking Danielson is so hot, so good. Like, I thought this was a really fucking solid tag match. A little short on time. I wish it would have been a little bit longer, but I mean, it's not a pay-per-view. It's a fucking Dynamite, so can't really complain on that. But I thought it was awesome, man. I thought it was really, really entertaining. I was sports entertained.
Yeah, nice. It was a fun match. I'll tell you, Sammy was on fire up until they paired him with Ty on TV. He was on a roll. He was over, and I think he's finally getting back on track. You got to keep them separated. Yeah, like you said, like if she comes out and kisses him in the match or whatever, once in the blue moon.
Raven's pissed right now.
You gotta keep them separated.
I want to see Sammy doing Sammy's thing without interference from Ty. That's all.
I think Sammy had a fucking chip on his shoulder and a point to fucking prove tonight, and he came out and did exactly that by being a goddamn good worker. It was fun to watch. Yeah.
No.
Full circle from the conversation before. Pillars. Sammy Guevara proved why he is a building block of AEW, and not in just the future. He's the present right here, and he's present every week, and he's involved in meaningful storylines, and he's willing to take the fall when he needs to. He's lost a lot of matches. He's probably lost more matches than he's won. The main thing here is I think he just needs to be a heel. Like when they tried to turn him face, he seemed lost, and that was before people had genuine heat on him, when his real life personal stuff came to light and people were disagreeing with the Ty stuff and cheating on his girlfriend, all that stuff. That aside, Sammy's been nothing but a model wrestler. The stuff outside the ring, he seems to be involved in drama. I know the Eddie Kingston stuff. Eddie took the fall for that. He said, I caused it, but Sammy seems to be the instigator. There's got to be a reason why he's involved in this turmoil, and whether he's right or wrong, or he's a shit stirrer, or he just doesn't shut his mouth when he doesn't need to. It feels like that Mox promo he cut on Hangman was alluding to stuff with Sammy, stuff with Hangman, stuff with guys like Andrade and Miro. Even Ricky Stark's tweet that he said, can my coworkers just shut the fuck up for once? Mox did it perfect, though. Like, Mox just said it out loud, and Mox will say it in the ring. He'll say it to your face in person. It doesn't matter. But the stuff with Sammy, there's got to be some growing up he needs to do, because you can't be just involved. Eventually, you're at fault. Like, it can't just not be your fault every time.
Sammy has a history of this. Look at this stupid comment he made about Sasha Banks. It is time to grow up. I agree. And you don't want this to hinder him, because he's so good in the ring and what he could be, his potential. his sky's the limits for this kid if he just shuts up. But
See,
just go back on what you said, Ace. He is 11-2 this year and 51-30 overall in AEW.
Fair. I mean, so he won a lot more this year because I guess JAS has his back. But I just see him losing a lot, and I guess it's more of a perception thing than anything. But losing 30 matches is kind of. I mean, I don't think Jungle Boy's lost 10 matches in his career. I really don't.
I have it up right here. Let's
pull it up, and then MJF. I mean, MJF has lost probably twice, right? Wardlow and
career. Jungle Boy's career, he's 79-42 in AEW.
42. I can't believe he was almost untouchable for a bit. He lost to Jericho in that time limit match.
50 wins too, wasn't he?
Who's that?
Jungle Boy, wasn't he the first to 50 wins for a singles competitor?
I just remember the Sheeta thing where she got the plaque for the first 100 wins or something.
Female, yeah.
No, they don't care. But I'm going complete opposite direction. I think Andrade is the fucking issue. I think Andrade wants out of his contract, and he's just starting shit with people.
I don't think you're wrong.
No, I agree with you 100%, Bellcaster. I just think eventually, like when he is the victim in the Kingston stuff and then the Andrade stuff, eventually it is you. You know what I mean? Like you're finding the issue too. You know, like it's like he's seeking it out.
The Kingston thing made itself relevant, though. It turned into a good fucking match between both guys.
100%. They put their differences aside and they work together, which is the sign of two adults.
They were friends
beforehand,
so they just had a little disagreement and they got over it, which is what people do. A little bit of news for you guys. I just noticed though. We heard last week Malachi came out and said he'll be back in AEW shortly. He's back on the roster page. He was removed, but he's now back on there. So. I'm glad to see they work things out.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to go anywhere, honestly.
Well, I thought he might retire.
I think a lot of people were hoping he was going to wiggle out of his contract. And
I just want to see him wrestle. I love the guy.
I want to see House of Black fucking doing their thing.
Exactly. I agree.
Either way, it's Ock Brody right now, by the way, guys, if you've been following my Instagram. And this is day 9 of Brody King for World Champion. So let's put that out into the universe. Brody King for World Champion. So I'll just put that out there.
I'm all for it, man. Absolutely.
Talk to Brody. Get it. You know, get some momentum.
Brody singles run and let him look. What about Brody versus Wardlow? What a friggin' match!
Yeah, I'm down for that.
That's what we need. We need shit like that.
That's the story I need too. Wow.
Kick Brian Cage off my TV and put Brody King on.
He's Vader. He's Bam Bam. He's a monster that needs to be presented as such, especially in a smaller roster. He can make these guys look like him and Darby's the perfect big small.
Yeah.
Fight forever. For real. Just fight forever.
You compare Wardlow with in this company and give him great stories with. It's time to start doing it.
Yeah. Man.
Nick Storm going to start shit with Sammy Guevara.
Call it. He's the kangaroo that stole your glasses.
Ah, there you go.
The only thing I fucking cannot stand about Sammy Guevara is the tongue. Like
the hair he got too is little Jimmy Neutron like though.
Well, he got slammed on his back and then he's like it was like, don't do it when you're trying to sell. Like that's
his Devon Dudley seizure thing when Devon used to hit the mat.
I love that, man. I would pop so hard and be like, fuck, he got fucked up hard, man.
You see dub.
Yeah. Speaking of getting fucked up hard, that table spot, that was brutal, man. I thought Danielson fucking, like when you see a table partially break like that, you're like, damn, that hurt. It's now his brand.
just to comment on this, WWE always takes a beating on Monday nights during football season, and their ratings were doing better up until football season. So I wouldn't look too much into that. SmackDown's ratings have been up. So.
Yeah. For more information on that, tune into the Raw Dog.
Yeah. Dude, they do $1.5 million in their sleep. Like they don't have to try because they're on Fox and USA. It's just and not taken away from what they're doing because the shows have been better. But
no, they're just the Hershey bar of fucking wrestling. Like no matter what, you're gonna walk in, you'd be like, man, I want a chocolate bar. Hershey's, boom.
There are 17 weeks a year on Monday nights when Raw's rating takes a hit because of Monday Night Football, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Womp womp. Just like AEW probably takes a hit when basketball's on Wednesdays and they have to 100%. Switch it over. You know, it's just, it is what it is.
There's nothing draws at the NFL in America anymore. I mean, the ratings the NFL does, it's unlike anything we see in anything. There's nothing comparable to it anymore. It is a money printing machine, the NFL.
Yeah. But do you know why?
Do I know why?
Yeah.
Because it's the most popular sport in America.
Do you know why?
You can unpack. There's a whole bunch of reasons why. I mean,
or more money gambled on
True.
it.
That very good point. But it was popular before it was legal here in New York. People were watching it no matter what.
But still,
Yeah.
people have bookies, and they say dollar per dollar, there is so much money on the NFL gamble that it keeps the ratings. It's part of why the ratings are so strong in the NFL.
You just wait until that new
You get the
XFL
Thursday night
comes
game.
out.
You get a Thursday night game with the Dolphins and the Bengals, and you have a parlay on it, or you're on a prop bet, and you're just like, or an over under.
Who cares about that game, but people betting on it, unless you're a fan of either team.
And also every fucking restaurant in America airs the football games, no matter what.
Every bar.
You could be in Denver, you could be in Florida, you could be in fucking, Wichita, fucking Arkansas. They're playing fucking football in the bars. Like it's they don't do that with wrestling. A lot of places don't do that with wrestling. There's some here in Chicago that do.
It's just not fair to compare anything to the NFL though. Like put the NFL in its own stratosphere. Like just be on its own.
It's the Hershey's of sports, man.
You can't compare other sports to the NFL. Like people are like, oh, MLB's dying, and they're not comparable because MLB is a regional sport. And people watch their teams.
Yeah.
And the playoffs will pop if the Dodgers or the Yankees are in the World Series. But other than that, it's just if you like baseball, you're going to watch it. But for football, it is a more casual, less fanatic fan for like you watch any team. For like the Yankee fans, they're not watching the playoffs if they're out. I'm sorry. Like a lot of fans aren't. I am, but most people aren't.
I don't give a
I'll pay attention, but I won't sit there to watch the whole game. I'll flip back and forth.
But for football, you'll watch the whole playoffs, right? Like that, you'll watch
a fraction of the money that's bet on the NFL is what baseball gets for betting. Like the numbers are astonishing. And then fantasy football, that's more money.
True.
That.
Yeah.
So it's just a different beast.
It's hard to bet on baseball too, though. I mean, you can, but
you can,
but it's challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how long? I mean, since we were kids, I've been hearing people say that baseball's dying. 30 years later, it's still fucking doing its thing. People still show up to the fucking opening day. They still want to see their goddamn team. I don't give a shit about any sports team unless they're in the playoffs. So like I won't watch shit unless it's like, oh, the Cubs 2016, that was a fucking huge deal. Like fucking, and you don't get a lot of big moments like that. And like afterwards it fizzles out. Who gives a shit? Like I could at least name 3 Cubs players in 2016 at the time. And I was like, I like these guys.
Right.
But who the fuck are they now? I couldn't tell you for the life of me.
The Cubs are rebuilding again to pay for Wrigleyville. All their money went to Wrigleyville in 2020. So
no, that's
beautiful. Wrigleyville looks amazing though. So
no, it's a beautiful.
No winning team to be found though. Zaya Suzuki though could have won NL Rookie of the Year if he didn't get hurt. So anyway, we'll talk about baseball another day. If you guys want to talk baseball, follow Matt Extra Cooler. He's a big Yankee fan, and also they're dropping those Warrior episodes for the podcast. They drop out heat. Nick and the boys. It's amazing what Extra Cooler's doing. So I don't know if you guys listened to the Warrior stuff, but that was a great episode this morning. Got me through my workday.
Absolutely crushing it.
Gotta love the Extra Cooler guys.
Yeah,
love them.
I love. Like I mentioned it on the sessions, how much I could sit down and have a conversation with Matt about wrestling all day long.
Yeah, it's the fun of it all. Absolutely. So what's up? What else? Anything else before we dip out?
Solid episode tonight. So we got some stories furthered a little bit with Team Torreya move. We got the MJF, like a whole new angle in his story. Fun stuff. Fun stuff tonight.
Already being reported on the dirt sheets that it was a tease for his babyface turn. Dun dun dun. Whatever.
I mean,
because I'm better than you, and you know it.
I'll believe it when I see it.
His babyface turn is going to look like Stone Cold. It's not going to change his character. He's still going to flip people off. He's still going to grab his crotch. It's going to be the version of faces that we saw in the Attitude Era. It's the anti-hero with an edge.
Yeah, love it.
Nothing wrong with that either.
But I don't want him to be pandering to the crowd. As entertaining as the Cody Rhodes thing was, where he was face for a minute, where he's Cody Rhodes' best friend. I don't want that MJF. Everyone knew he was turning, but I want the version of MJF turned up to 11, but he's just he gets people to cheer him in other ways by his in-ring work, not so much the cheap heat.
I'll double down with that. I want exactly the MJF we seen after All Out. When he came back, the crowd was all lit up, and he was like, "What's up, everybody? You fucking suck!" Like that's what you need. It's good. He's like the bully everybody wants to fucking cheer for.
Line of like, I can have all your wives, but I have standards. Like in the
that's good. That'll get over nowadays.
It's going to be hard though to turn him. It's going to be hard because a lot of his bread and butter is on the mic, and Stone Cold was on the mic, but he would just target his opponents by just talking
he was just
trash
crazy
to them.
MJF truly is a once in a generation talent. Like he says, he is a generational talent, and he's so young. We're just beginning to take this ride with him. So
hell yeah, I'm here for it. Plug your shit, boys.
All right, Tom, what's going on for this week for Sessions? And I guess plug the debate as well. You did a little bit before, but it's episode 100, so it's a really big deal.
Sessions this week did not air because Mike lost internet. I lost power last night thanks to the storm. So we'll be returning next week with a good special episode. Me and Mike have discussed it. We're going to do something fun. We don't know exactly what yet, but yeah, definitely have the 100th episode of the debate show on Monday with Sam Roberts. It's a fun episode. I guarantee if you listen, you're going to be laughing. You're going to enjoy. There's great stuff. Sam has some good stuff to say. Chad, as usual, is so good. Sneed too. And I got picked on. And Chad just, I'm not going to tell you what it was, but Chad just underhand a meatball to Sam, and he went off on it.
I like it.
There's nothing like it. I'm telling you.
I never heard the term underhand a meatball before, and that is exciting. Just picture Adam Sandler in The Wedding Singer. It's a good meatball. Like, you just eat the meatball with his fucking hands.
So coming up here on Friday, we have Shot Nostalgia episode 25, talking about Halloween Havoc 1996, the debut of Roddy Piper in WCW. We also get Hogan versus Savage. It's a pivotal moment in WCW for the better. I thought it was really good. We're going to talk about that. Also this weekend, Aaron, on Sunday night, another Visit the Tavern. I have a tag team coming to town. We have the Slime Balls from New York Wrestling Connection. So check that out. It's going to be airing on Sunday night, 8 p.m. So up and coming tag team. There's a couple of different guests. We have the Big Boofa. Desmond Cole is going to be on there. He's from Victory Pro Wrestling and also Remarkable Wrestling. And also I have another person in the pipeline for November. I don't want to hype it until it's confirmed, but getting a lot of indie talent on the Tavern. I want you guys to check them out and support independent wrestling because, as I always say, it is the lifeblood of wrestling. So make sure you support your local indies, guys.
Hell yeah. Spay new your cats and dogs too. Like, it's a great. The Big Boofa sounds like a nickname my grandma used to call me, like when I was a little kid. It's like, oh, you Big Boofa.
The Big Boofa is the real deal. He's gonna be main eventing Remarkable Wrestling at the show I'll be at.
Hell yeah.
I cannot tell you my role in the show yet, but I will be there. Come visit me and I'll hype it up more in Shot Nostalgia. So
yeah, how about just go see Ace and the beautiful talent right over there, and if you're around, because if I was there, I'd be around. King Hunako and snip into a Slim Jim. Yes, we're gonna be rock and rolling.
Yeah, but more currently, this will be on October 15th, which is not this Friday, but next on Saturday, I should say, the 2022 Gold Rush Rumble. I'll be there with a Turnbuckle Tavern table, giving out stickers for free, selling shirts. Come see me, and also more importantly, support the boys at VPW. A lot of good talent. I've had a couple of these guys on the show. And that you see Desmond right in the front there. He'll be on Visits the Tavern the day after, so you guys can check him out. But some familiar faces, the Creative Pro champion Bryce Donovan's there. So it's one of their bigger events. Gold Rush Rumble, check it out. It's a good time. I mean, your local indies, and you could find them. Just Google it. You guys, wherever you are around the country, every weekend there's wrestling to support.
Absolutely. Well,
cheap family entertainment too.
Good, wholesome family entertainment.
Yes,
with a nice price. But yeah, this was great. I thought this was a fun episode of the wrap up and a fun episode of AW. Please go visit theturnbuckletavern.com for all of your Turnbuckle Tavern needs. It's again theturnbuckletavern.com. I'm going to do it for 25 minutes, just as Tom did this past Fig Night, and I'm going to make it really long. It's THETURNBUCKLETAVERN.com. But yes, follow us. Go click on all those links. Subscribe, follow, like, share. Tell your mom about her podcast. My mom loves her podcast. It's a good way to spread the word. Mama B is the best. She rocks the shit.
We're going to send somebody some ranch dressing, some amazing ranch dressing.
That was the best ranch dressing I've ever had in my life.
Me too.
She's going to be very happy to hear that.
To it. The jalapeno just brought it to the next level. I don't think most people that make ranch put the jalapeno, but if you're listening far and wide, it's the missing ingredient in your ranch dressing. You're wondering why it doesn't kick. It's because you don't have goddamn fresh jalapeno in it like Mama B.
I like it. We're gonna have to reel that so I can send that to her. She'll be very happy to see hear that. Just making reels about food over here. But yeah, it's good stuff. Again, turnbuckletavern.com. Just fucking hit every button on there.
Yep.
Give us some love. We love you guys. Want the love back. Anything else, gentlemen?
Oh, that's all I got. We love you guys. Great to have the team back. Dude. Great to have the team back.
Go Yankees.
Yeah, go Yanks.
Go Yanks? I'll go with it because I don't even fucking care. Go Yanks. Even the Cubs owner's like, yeah, go fucking Yanks, man. All right, fellas. Well, until next week, we will see you down the road. I don't even have the fucking video up because I haven't done the wrap up in so long. Shit, I'm working on it. I'm getting there. Hold on. It takes a second. We got a lot of pictures now, too.
I got you.
You got you? All right. Until next time, homies. Peace, love, and the OG Fig Kid.